Welcome back to this new Pixel Rage tutorial, and today we want to recreate a scene from Stranger Things. Let's go. Here we are on a fresh Blender scene, so let's get started here with our guy and this cube. Let's go into edit mode by pressing tab and Alt and Z to bring in here toggle X-ray mode. And we can select here now on the face mode by pressing 3 or press here the face select button and select the bottom. Bring in by pressing M this window, and we want to bring in this into the 0, and the pop should go here now to the 2.3 meters. I want to select the right side and bring the X value to 1.8 and the left side to minus 1.8. Let's leave here the edit mode and rename this one here to elevator. Okay, let's duplicate this one by pressing Shift and D. Want to rename this to hallway and leave it because we need this one later. So let's go back here into the edit mode of our elevator, and we want to make a first loop cut, pressing Ctrl R and the mouse button and then escape. And now I want to bring the X value to 1, 2. Make the same thing again here. Pressing the mouse and then escape, minus 1.2, scroll. Now let's make a horizontal loop cut and bring this one in here, to 2.1. Okay, let's leave the toggle X mode by pressing Alt and Z, and we can go here into the select mode, the faces, select here this front face and X for delete and faces. That is our really low polling elevator here right now, and let's bring in here the hallway. We want to select here our hallway and bring this one down here in the X value to minus 2. Yeah, we want to go into the edit mode and select here the end of our hallway and bring this one down to minus 15. And what we can do now, when we are inside here our hallway, we can select here the front face, press X and faces, so we have a perfect gate here between these objects. And we want to go ahead now and adjust here our camera to see a little bit more what we are doing. So let's go here into the camera mode by pressing 0 on the numpad. Now I want to go here with the 0 on the X. I want to go with a minus 14 in the Y and a 1 in the Z value. I like to have a rotation of 90 degrees, and yeah, let's leave everything else. So, but I want to go with a focal length of 35 millimeters to create a little bit more detailed. I want to bring in here another cube, which is 0.1 in the X, 0.6 in the Y, and 2.3 in the X and the Z, sorry. And let's bring this one here on the X side. And let's put this a little bit here to the front. And I like to have these panels here now fit into the side. Let's add here a bevel. So we have a little tiny edge on this thing here. So we have to decrease the amount here to 0.01. So we have a little tiny edge here, which is later cool for the light. Now we can duplicate these panels here by adding an array modifier. And I want to go ahead and change the value from X to Y. I think that's okay, and now we can go here into our view, duplicate this here along, maybe to 15 or 16, and let's rename this to panels right. So yeah, let's duplicate this one here, pressing Shift and D, and we want to rename this to panels left. We can easily bring this one here now to minus 1.8, so it's on the other side now. Yeah, let's do the same thing for the ceiling. So let's duplicate this one again and rename this one here to ceiling. And we can go ahead now and change this to 90, change the X value here to 0, so it's in the center, and bring this one up here. So Can see this a little bit better. And now we can change the Z value a little bit more. But I like to have a little bit more of a gap here in the ceiling. So I want to increase a little bit the value here on 1.2, but it's always up to you. We have a little bit contrast here between the bottom, the top of the ceiling and the sides. Let's get started here with some texturing. Let's go here into the shading. Let's go here into the camera view. Okay, let's go here into the rendered mode. Now let's go here into the main settings, and I want to enable ambient occlusion, bloom, and screen space reflections. Now we can add here our first material, which is material all weight. So let's bring this one down here to something grayish, maybe a little bit more. Something like this. And I want to add here a noise texture for noise. And I want to add here a mapping node. So when you're enabled the node wrangler, press Ctrl T. If you don't have the node wrangler, preferences, add-ons, and search for wrangler and enable this one. And now we want to add this here into the roughness. Let's see what we got here now. First I want to add here a color ramp. I want to bring a little bit more down here, the black slider, so we can see here some reflections going on, but I like to make here some changes. So let's bring down the scale to 0.4. Let's leave the details and the roughness and the distortion, but I want to change the scale as well. So the X, let's leave the X. Let's go with a 0.7 in the Y and a minus 2.4 in the Z. So we have a little bit randomness here in the shader. So let's bring this one here down to the other one and to the top, here to the top panels as well. So we can see a little bit more what is going on here. Yeah, for the floor I want to use the same material, but we have to duplicate this one. So let's press this one here and let's rename this floor. And here I want to have a little bit more fuzziness here in the floor. So what we can do for this is change everything back here to 1, but I want to scale the noise a little bit more. So let's go with 113. So we have here these kind of dots, and let's leave detail and roughness, but I want to go with a 6 in the distortion. And I don't know if you can see this, but we have some tiny stuff here going on, which is a little bit more floor-like. When you want to improve the reflections of Eevee, we can easily do this by adding here a reflection plane. Maybe let's go back here into the layout mode so we can see a little bit better what we are doing. So here's a reflection plane, and we want to scale this one up here now, maybe to something like this, and change here the distance a little bit. We don't need a fall off, and we want to change here the rotation and the Y to minus 90. So when we are going here back into our camera view, maybe let's go here with a preview plane and play a little bit here more with the settings. You can see now that we have here this gap between, we can see the reflection plane and it's dropping out here, and we have to find here this spot, maybe this one here, maybe let's go a little bit to the edge. I think 7.5 is a good value. Let's leave here, or let's turn the show preview plane off, and now we can see that we have a little bit more realistic reflection here for the side. And maybe reflection plane, and right here we want to have this, duplicate this one, change it to left, and we just have to change the value to minus and change the rotation value to 90. So we have the reflection on the other side. So what we can do here now with the elevator is I want to bring in a texture from textures.com, but you can use any other technical texture if you want to create here a new material, which is elevator. Press Ctrl, Shift, and T. Yeah, and I want to go here with the sci-fi panels from textures.com, which I said, and I want to use the albedo, metallic, normal, and roughness. So bring these three in here. And I want to make some changes here right now. So maybe we can go here and to adjust this a little bit more and change the X value to 4 and the Y value to 6. So let's see here what we got. Maybe it's a little bit off. So we can go ahead here and change this one to 1.4 is a good value. Yeah, to get rid here of these white orangey stuff, I want to change here the color a little bit. So we want to have put here a color ramp between the color, the base color, texture, and the shader here. So and bring down the black one almost here to the end. So we have something like this. And I want to leave here roughness. Maybe we don't have to import that, but sorry for that. And I want to increase here the roughness a little bit. Yeah, to something like this. And I want to change the strength of the normal map to 2. So we're having something like this going on. For the front here of the elevator, let's go here back into the edit mode and the face mode. And we want to select here the stuff which is outside of our elevator. And go here into the materials. Go here onto the plus sign and let's select here hallway and press assign. So now only the inside here of this elevator has some details on it. We can go ahead here now with some lights and fog. First of all, I want to add here now the elevator light. So let's go here into the layout mode. Okay, we have already here our scene light, so let's use this one. And I want to change the settings here from point light to area light. Well, that's okay. And we want to change here the rotation of everything to 0. And yeah, let's bring this here into the center because that is our the light here of the elevator. Yeah, let's see that we can put this down here and change. Maybe let's go here into the rectangle, so rectangle size, and increase this one here now to almost 3, I think. 3 is a good value, and maybe to 1.5, and let's see that we can bring this here to the bottom, to the top. And now when we are here in the camera view, we can see a little bit more what is going on. And I want to change here the color now to this hex color here. That is a little bit greenish one. So let's take this one. Yeah, after that, let's change here the power to 2000, and I want to go with a contact shadows here and a custom distance, which is 4. So it's a little bit more here in the center going on. For the next step, we can go ahead here and add another cube, which will be here the fog. Yeah, the cube is has some dimensions which are 5 by 20 by 4. And I want to bring this to -7 and 1, so it fits around our scene here. And yeah, let's go ahead here, and we need another shader, which is material fog. And yeah, let's add here a volume scatter for this one. And I want to bring this color to a grayish here, something like this. and I want to change the density to 0.05 and maybe the anisotropy to 0.6 or 7, something like this. And yeah, you can select, or you can choose between Eevee and cycles if you want to. And maybe when it's a little bit too foggy, you can change here the density as well. So it's up to you what you like. So, but let's go here with the Eevee one. So when we are done here with the fog, let's go here and change the color management to a little bit more contrast. So something like high contrast here, very high. I think that's too much. I like something between medium high and high contrast. So let's go here with this one. Two things are left now. My screenshot from the series, and there's something like a small light here on the left side. So let's create this really quick. Yeah, let's go here with another cube. As always, it's a little bit low poly stuff here, but you can add some details later, or more details with some cables and stuff like that. But yeah, as you know, we don't have so much time, and I want to show you how we can create stuff, and you have to add these details later. Let's go here with the dimensions of 2.2, 1.5 and 0.2. So we have a little bit, yeah, we have here something like a lamp. And yeah, let's go here and select this one, go into the edit mode. Let's go here into the face mode and select only this face here. And now we want to go into the insert face and bring this a little bit down. Maybe let's take a look here into the insert faces. And yeah, bring this to a value like 0.15. And now we can press S and Y and bring this a little bit more here to the outside again. And now we can go and select extrude region and bring this a little bit more. So that is here now our basic light. Let's create now a new material here now and press new, which is material light. Let's change this to something bluish here right now. But we don't want to have this here on the whole thing. But let's change first here the color, bring this one here to 15. But yeah, that's that's the whole light, but we don't want to have the whole light. So now we have to change here this material to, maybe let's use our hallway thing. And now we can go ahead and add here a new material, which is the M light, and press assign. So it's only now in our light. And now we can adjust this one. So let's leave here now the edit mode. And I want to change this, maybe let's go here into the camera view. And I want to change this to minus 1.5, -6 and 2.1, and we want to rotate this to 30 degrees here now. So, and now we want to add here a new light. So that's now our second light, area light, and the light goes here right now. Maybe let's rename these lights here. Now this light is our light elevator, and this light is here now hallway. And now we have to put the real light to the model light. So bring back this here to -1 and -6, and let's see, maybe 2. And we can adjust this a little bit more, rotate this to -60 here in the Y, and I want to change the size now to a rectangle, 0.13 and maybe 0.4. But let's see if this will fit here now. So, okay, that's wrong. Bring this a little bit more in. It will fit a little bit more here to our light source. Well, maybe to something like this. And now we can change this color here a little bit more to a blue. And increase the power to 1000. But we want to use a custom distance of 1. So it's only here in the floor a little small light. And yeah, maybe let's select here this cube. Yeah, let's leave it like cube and light, so we know what it is. Maybe let's select here a light hallway and bring this a little bit more to the side. Yeah, and the last thing here now is some particles. I created these particles with geometry nodes. So let's make this really quick here. Geometry nodes, particles. Let's jump right in here to this one. We can go ahead here now and make a new one. Cut this down. What we need is a grid. We need a sphere, icosphere, and we need an instance on points. Let's put the mesh onto the points and the iconospheres into the instances and the instances to geometry. Maybe let's go here into the preview and we can see here these iconospheres. Change here the radius of the iconosphere to 0.03 and the subdivisions to 4, so it's a little bit smoother. And I want to change the grid to 1.5, 4.8, 12 vertices in the X, 11 in Y. Yeah, well now we need some randomness, so let's search here for a set position. And yeah, we need a random value here right now. Let's duplicate this one because we need it again. Now let's bring this random value to the offset, but first let's change this to vector and bring this one now into the offset. Now we can play here with the settings. My settings here now -3, -14 and 0, 4 by -2, 4. The other random node here should go now into the scale, and I want to change the float to 0.1 to 0.2, so they are a little bit smaller here right now. And we need yeah, something glowy on that one, and I want to set here material, and we can use here the M light. And now we are having here some glowy spheres, particles in our scene. For some dramatic, we can change now the camera to -45, so we are having here a little bit more dramatic view now going on. That was this tutorial, and if you like my stuff, check out my channel, and if you want to support me, check out my Gumroad or Blender Market. See you there, and bye.